Good afternoon, everyone.
Welcome to the Student Leaders Investiture 2021. While we are still unable to conduct this ceremony in person, we are glad to be able to formally recognize our student leaders through this platform.
We are gathered
to recognize the contributions our student leaders have made during their term of service and to invest the newly appointed student leaders. Here at Whitley, we believe that every student can be a leader. The Student Leadership Development Committee manages 5 segments of student leaders as you see on the screen. Regardless of their leadership area, the student leaders are guided by the Leadership Challenge framework, where they apply the practices of good leadership in their respective roles. We'll be acknowledging 3 major groups of student leaders: the peer leaders, team leaders, and community leaders.
Peer leaders are student leaders
who help to instill a deep sense of belonging within the class and within their level. Team leaders such as CCA leaders are responsible for providing visionary leadership in the CCA and leading the CCA in the planning and execution of activities, all in hopes to bring their beloved CCA to greater heights. House captains rally us during major sporting events in school. Community leaders such as the prefects focus on serving the Whitley community and beyond. Let's now have Mrs. Anbar, our principal, to deliver her address.
Good morning, Whitleyians. Gives me great pleasure to join you this morning at the Student Leaders Investiture 2021. Today, we live in a new normal. COVID-19 has meant that we wear masks every day to work and to school. It has also meant that we have to observe safe management measures. We have to wash our hands regularly and keep sanitizing them. Yet, despite all the difficulties, there are many heartwarming moments that have happened in the last 2 years. Today, we hear of many stories of how individuals have stepped up to help those frontline workers, the workers in the dormitory, and families that have been struggling during this crisis. So today, as we do the investiture for the student leaders at Whitley, I want to leave you with a few messages. The first message that I want to leave you with, the student leaders, is that leadership has to be purposeful. What is your purpose as a leader? What do you intend to achieve? How do you intend to rally your people and to inspire them towards a common vision? The next thing, passion. In whatever you do, be passionate, because being passionate will give you the commitment, will give you the drive to go the extra mile. Thirdly, pride. Whatever you do, be proud of what you're doing. Be proud of being a student leader. Be proud of your achievements and be proud that you're leading the school well. Another P, the people. Don't forget the people that you're leading, because they are the ones you are serving. Always be mindful of their needs and always do your best to attend to them. And the last P that I want to leave you today with is problems. Anticipate problems. COVID-19 has shown us that problems will always be in our lives. Be solutions driven. Always think of how you can get around the problem, rally your people, and still achieve your common vision. Leadership comes with great responsibility, and I'm sure the student leaders of Whitley will live up to our expectations and be exemplary leaders with the heart to care and will to learn, so that Whitley Secondary School is a learning and caring community of leaders. All the best for your investiture. Congratulations once again on all the newly appointed leaders. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Anbar, for reminding everyone of the 5 Ps. Next, we will hear from Hansel, our outgoing head prefect.
Good morning, Mrs. Anbar, Mr. Aziz, Mr. Kang, teachers and fellow Whitleyians. I am Hansel Khan, your head prefect for 2020 and 2021. My journey as a head prefect has taught me many aspects in which I can improve on. One of the most important things that I've learned is the need to be a good listener. Being a head prefect, I take in countless suggestions and listen to the voices of many Whitleyians. I've learned that it's important to be discerning to help guide me into making better decisions. This ability to discern comes from, firstly, exposing myself to different perspectives, sometimes perspectives that are not my own, such as the varying suggestions from the excos and teachers when planning an event. Secondly, the patience to listen, sometimes even summarizing the main points while the other person speaks so that I can make use of good suggestions as well as improve on them. And thirdly, the willingness to take a step back and listen. This allows me to make the best decision for the people that I serve. All these are possible thanks to our supportive teachers. I am grateful that the teachers developed the EXCO and me into the people we are today. To my fellow EXCO members, I would like to thank you for always encouraging me when I'm at my all-time low and working hard with me to make whatever project that we were working on a success. I definitely would not have made it if it were not for you guys. To the next batch of EXCOs and student leaders, I wish you all your best in your endeavors in student leadership. Your path to success will not be an easy one. There will be times where you'll feel frustrated and upset, but my suggestion to you is to always keep your head up and constantly strive to do best as leaders. Before I end my speech, I would like to reiterate what we always say in student leadership. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. I hope that every one of us can strive to do our best as leaders while serving the school. Thank you.
Thank you, Hansel. We will first recognize and appreciate our outgoing student leaders, many of whom have contributed much to the improvement of school life and community. Firstly, our outgoing community leaders.
Prefectorial Board Executive Committee.
Prefectorial Board Executive Committee, Head Prefect Hansel Khan. Head of Logistics, Mao Yuhuan. Head of Publicity, Kelvin Lim. Head of Welfare, Chong Yuxuan. Head of Events, Lin Jiayang. Secretary, Joanne Goh.
Prefectorial Board Secondary 4 Prefects.
Receiving on behalf of Secondary 4 Prefects, Zhang Yunzhe.
Next, our outgoing team leaders.
Peer Support Leaders.
Peer Support Leaders Executive Committee 2020-2021, Chairperson Adam Seng. Vice Chairperson Megan Wong. Receiving on behalf of outgoing Peer Support Leaders, Sophia Isabel.
Sports Leaders.
Receiving on behalf of outgoing Sports Leaders, Nurul Rafika.
CCA leaders of clubs and societies.
Receiving on behalf of clubs and societies CCA leaders, Go Kang Kiet.
CCA leaders of performing arts.
Receiving on behalf of performing arts CCA leaders, Valencia.
CCA leaders of sports and games.
Receiving on behalf of sports and games CCA leaders, Gavin Ng.
Leaders of uniformed groups.
Receiving on behalf of uniform group CCA leaders, Ernest Lee.
Thank you to
Our outgoing community leaders and team leaders.
Before we welcome our incoming student leaders, let's watch this.
Now we would like to recognize our incoming cohort of community and team leaders. Introducing our newly appointed team leaders. CCA leaders of clubs and societies.
Receiving on behalf of clubs and societies CCA leaders, Amelia New.
CCA leaders of performing arts.
Receiving on behalf of Performing Arts CCA leaders Kendra Peng.
CCA leaders of sports and games.
Receiving on behalf of Sports and Games CCA leaders Gabriel Ong.
CCA leaders of uniformed groups.
Receiving on behalf of Uniform Group CCA leaders Leong Yuhang.
Sports Council and peer support leaders.
Sports Council Executive Committee President Sophia. Vice President Javel Yo. Peer Support Leaders Executive Committee 2021-2022 Chairperson Brandon Pu. Vice Chairperson Tristan Ang. Vice Chairperson Mirai Tan.
House captains.
Receiving on behalf of House Captains Kieran Ang.
Presenting to you our newly appointed community leaders.
Prefectorial Board Executive Committee.
Prefectorial Board Executive Committee Head Prefect Alanga. Vice Head Prefect Marie Imanina. Head of Logistics Jerome Goh. Publicity and Secretary Ginger Chia. Publicity and Secretary Wong Sang Mei. Head of Events Kieran Lau. Summer Park.
In the welfare, Gwyneth Gabriel.
Prefectorial Board Secondary 2 Prefects.
Receiving on behalf of Secondary 2 Prefects Kim Tae-in.
Prefectorial Board Secondary 3 Prefects.
Receiving on behalf of Secondary 3 Prefects Bunshi Sosho Sangchu.
Finally, our newly appointed peer leaders. Secondary 1 class leaders.
Receiving on behalf of Secondary 1 class leaders Joan Xiao.
Secondary 2 class leaders.
Receiving on behalf of Secondary 2 class leaders Nearest Yao.
Secondary 3 class leaders.
Receiving on behalf of Secondary 3 class leaders Pritivan.
Secondary 4 and 5 class leaders.
Receiving on behalf of Secondary 4 and 5 class leaders Shifa Adila.
Peer support leaders.
Secondary 1 peer support leaders. Secondary 2 peer support leaders. Secondary 3 peer support leaders. Secondary 4 and 5 peer support leaders.
Receiving on behalf of peer support leaders Afan Firas.
Sports Council Executive Committee. Secondary 2 sports leaders. Secondary 3 sports leaders. Four and 5 sports leaders.
Receiving on behalf of sports leaders Haziq Nijamuddin.
Congratulations to all our newly minted student leaders.
Let's now hear from our head prefect for 2021 to 2022, Erlangga.
Good morning, Mrs. Anba, Mr. Aziz, Mr. Kang, teachers, and fellow Whitleyan. I am Erlangga Advan from Theatre Discipline, and I am honored to deliver this speech in front of all of you as your newly elected head prefect of 2021-2022. To start off, I would like to express my gratitude to each and every one of you who have put your support in me to be your newly elected head prefect. Thank you for giving me the honor to be your navigator in our WSS journey. I hope that as your newly elected head prefect, I can show and lead the way so that all of us can achieve excellence and accomplish the goals that we have set. I would also like to thank my teachers and mentors who have assisted me in this long but worthwhile process and gave me the vision of what a leader is. They have modeled the way for me as I learn deeper about leadership and how to be role models for my peers. Without their help, I wouldn't be here delivering a speech to all of you. To the current prefects and exco, thank you for being role models of Whitley and having that perseverance in carrying out your responsibilities well. I hope that the skills and knowledge that you have learned throughout your leadership journey will serve you well as you follow your ambitions in the future. I also hope that you will excel and exceed your own expectations in your upcoming national exams. To all the incoming batch of prefects and exco, I hope that we can all work together hand in hand to carry out our duties as student leaders. Although I can assure you that the journey will not be easy, I hope that we can face any challenges as one, and while reflecting on our morals and principles, we can further grow and rise higher than ever. Before I end my speech, I would like to share a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." As a community of leaders, let us all open a path that our peers can follow to strive for success. Perhaps along the way, these paths could create new leaders that will carry out our vision as a school in the future. Thank you and have a great day ahead.
Thank you, Erlangga.
In the final segment of our investiture ceremony, we will have the student leaders to take their pledge. The Student Leaders Pledge is a stark reminder to all leaders of their commitment to serve the school with passion and purpose. We look forward to our student leaders modeling the way and inspiring the shared vision for all Whitleyans.
The Student Leaders Pledge.
As student leaders of Whitley, we pledge that to the best of our ability, We shall always serve our school with dignity.
We shall be role models for good conduct at all times.
We shall be keepers of the school
While we help our fellow Whitlians to obey the rules.
We shall discharge our duties humbly and fairly.
We shall perform our roles without fear or favor.
We shall strengthen our self-discipline to maintain school discipline.
We shall endeavor
In our studies or we execute our duties.
Thank you, student leaders. Whitlians, we have come to the end of our investiture ceremony. We hope it has been a meaningful time for everyone, and our heartiest congratulations to all newly minted student leaders. See you next year at the Student Leaders Investiture 2022.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
Okay, Whitlians, a fun fact for you. I made one mistake in my speech, and if you can spot that mistake, a box of chocolates is waiting for you. So I look forward to hearing from you once again. And once again, congratulations to all our student leaders on your appointment. Well done, guys.
Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Oh. Alright. Good morning, Mrs. Anbar, Mr. Aziz, Mr. Kang, teachers and fellow Whitlians.
One, go! Stay.
Okay, got it.
The Student Leaders Pledge.
As leaders of Whitley, we pledge
Ah, no! Wrong thing! Wait!
Fonzie, I must start first, then I will.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.